Since Google's introduction in 1998, the search engine has played an ever-increasing role in our everyday lives. From reviewing accommodation to looking for the latest recipe, the term Google it is well entrenched in today's English language. As financial advisors to Aussie expats, we often receive emails from expats in many different countries forwarding to us and citing reports which sometimes may be questionable or incorrect. The veracity of these reports can often lead to a lot of confusion, and this is one of the reasons why we wanted to launch our first video with the tips and tricks of researching information on the web when it comes to your finances as an Aussie expat. Due to their geographic isolation, quite often Aussie expats have to resort to doing a lot of their homework online because they don't have the luxury of asking their neighbour or work colleague a question regarding their Australian finances. This can be a good and bad thing, and we'll run through those shortly. The positives about being able to search online is the fact that you're able to gain information wherever you are in the world. Now, sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong, but I guess being able to search is a good thing, isn't it? Oftentimes, people in remote locations who can't get access to good quality financial advice can use the internet to gain information that ordinarily they wouldn't be able to get access to. So that's definitely a positive. The negatives of doing your research online is that quite often the articles may be correct, but it's the context that counts. If there's an article that's written about Aussie expats and superannuation, it may be relevant for those in Dubai or United Kingdom, but it may not be relevant for those in the United States. How do you determine what information is correct for you? Now, we've all heard the stories of those Googling symptoms for some sort of a sickness or ailment and Google telling them that they've got some rare mysterious disease, when in actual fact all it would have taken was a quick trip to the local doctor to sort out a minor problem. We often find this is the case with Aussie expats as well when it comes to searching for financial information. So I guess the key thing from our point of view is the devil is in the detail. You need to apply the information according to your circumstances. And if you're not applying it correctly, you may not get the result you like. So let's say you found 4 or 5 articles and they look pretty current and they're pretty legitimate. What do you do with them? Often when we're providing financial advice to Aussie expats, we find there's actually about 10 or 20 pieces to the puzzle. These pieces can include, is the person a resident or non-resident for taxation purposes? Are they resident in a country that has a double taxation agreement with Australia? Also to issues like the advice that's provided to a 30-year-old single male in New York would be very different to the advice provided to a 50-year-old family of 5 in UK. So it's the context that counts at the end of the day. The internet has allowed a lot of people to be able to publish recommendation and advice documents relating to Australian expats. Now, this can be a bit of a trick because there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. First thing we say to clients is the source an Australian registered advisor? If not, then it's probably best to give them a wide berth. The reason we say this is all Australian registered advisors have to comply with regulations as stipulated by the Australian Securities Investment Commission. If you take advice from an unregistered advisor and the advice is incorrect and there's a problem down the track, you have little to no chance of any recourse. Whereas with an Australian registered advisor, there's a lot of policies and procedures put in place to ensure that you're protected as the consumer. So if you want the protection, make sure you deal with an Australian registered advisor. Also too, how familiar are they with Australian expat issues? Do they deal with these issues on a daily basis or do they do it every now and then? The issue with this is the moving parts when providing multi-jurisdictional advice is very complex and you can't do it part-time. In summing up, Google is a fantastic tool for Aussie expats when it comes to getting research done, but there's a couple of key things we'd like to remind you. First of all, if the article is older than 5 years, then more than likely it's out of date, so you can throw it away. The next tip is, how relevant is the article? It may mention the word Aussie expat and you're an Aussie expat, but is it specific to a certain country or region? Is it applicable to you? It's context that counts. Is the author of the information regulated and credible? If not, then best to give them a wide berth. Do they advise Aussie expats on a full-time basis or as the work happens? Do you want to trust your advice with someone who does work once or twice a year for Aussie expats or someone who does it every day and is abreast of all changes and regulations as they happen? In next week's video, we're going to cover off on the key financial topics that are affecting Aussie expats at the moment. So make sure you tune in for next week. And remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to tweet us at a hashtag AskAtlasWealth or leave your comments below and we'll sure to address them later on. Just remember, to be forewarned is forearmed. Take care and have a great day.